Working full time and broke is wild AF. College broke, burned out by 25. They told us to follow our dreams. They didn't mention the student loan debt and rent prices. But nothing builds character like having a full-time job that doesn't pay the bills. But in all seriousness, I want to dive into the 5 major workplace pain points facing younger millennials and older Gen Z and what to do about it. Let's get into it. Number 1, stagflation. Stagflation is a nasty cocktail of high inflation, high unemployment, and very little economic growth. The younger adults today, they're in it right now. Gen X was taught how to swim. We, older millennials, we were given life vests. You know what I mean? These younger adults, they were kind of pushed in the pool without any floaties. Average wages haven't kept up with the cost of living. There are more 30-somethings living with relatives, whether it be their parents or cousins or uncles or whatever, older people that have the bulk of the responsibility to that household. The age of marriages is going up and the birth rate is going down. They're saying, you know what, if I'm going to struggle, I'm gonna do it by myself. But I do want to see a light at the end of the tunnel, or it's gonna get crazy out here in these streets. Holla at your boy. They don't say that. The fix. In the trades, we have a motto: if you're learning, you're earning. You earn money while you learn your craft, period. There are unpaid internships. That's another path, but going to get your trade certification, you're going to get paid straight out of the gate. You build your skill from day one while you're clocking hours. And there's a direct correlation between effort and income. I mean, the more effort you put in, the more you're going to get paid. Straight up, your skills go up, your pay goes up. That's pretty much it. It's linear. If you're going to get into the market, you want to beat the market, right? You want to beat it? You don't want to lose money? You want to make money? Yeah. All right. Number 2, degree to income ratio, as I call it, is all about risk assessment. College today feels risky and expensive, depending on the discipline. You observe Gen Zs and other millennials go through the degree process and they're still broke or working a job not related to their degree. I've seen plenty. You may have a sense of anxiousness. There's a delayed gratification in having to wait 4 years to 6 years to graduate and then another half decade to settle into some real money, possibly. It's akin to not wanting to gamble on your future, and I get it. But you can balance the degree to income ratio with a skill that has a far lower cost to entry, coupled with the ability to earn while you learn, right? If you're earning, you're learning. Or if you're learning, you're earning. Can't remember what did I say? And job placement assistance. You can start to break even in your early 20s instead of your 40s. That's a hell of a head start. Let's see. Another pain point is a lot of jobs don't tell you where you're going. Promotions are vague, raises are small, and loyalty doesn't seem like much anymore. It doesn't mean much to a lot of companies because you're so far removed from the person at the top that they don't even see it. They don't know who's loyal, who's not loyal. You just got managers who might have a stick up their butt for some strange reason and they got it out for you. You specifically, not them, but you. Anyway, I digress. There's kind of a first in, first out kind of mentality with entry-level jobs that want you to have experience for the job, but you need to get the job to gain experience, and now you're going off in this big-ass rat race kind of circle, trying to get experience for a job that needs experience for you to get it. But even though you're in the job, layoffs are always kind of looming on the horizon, because you're the first to get cut. Now, gig work, Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, that was a temporary solution because all this stuff is kind of pandemic era. I stress that it is temporary, and they're also rife with constant uncertainty just because you get one little hiccup and you can't do that gig work, flat tire or transmission or something like that, something you didn't expect, and you're toast. Sorry, you're burnt on both sides. Scrape the dark off and then put butter on it. Go ahead and eat it. That's stupid. The fix. In the trades, the path tends to be mostly clear. You're gonna go from a helper to a tech, to a senior tech, to maybe a lead tech, and a supervisor. From there, you go to business owner. You always kind of know where you are and where to go next, or what is next, if you want to go there or not. But there are also some lateral transitions at every level. You can be tech support, or you can work in the parts house, be office manager, you can work in fleet or sales. But the beaten path is pretty much already there. This is one of those times where you want to take the road most traveled. Folks have already been down that path. It's a proven system that works. Now, number 4 may sound counterintuitive, but they grew up in times with more opportunities sprouting up out of nowhere, but they were all driven in advances by the tech space. So while during recessions and pandemics and rapid changes in society, as a result, it was hard to fit inside a box in a sense, because it really doesn't work anymore. Being a good little worker bee will lead to burnout more often than not. And it's happening faster than it did for us. If I had to guess, it's happening way faster. So you want a career that's fair without draining your soul. I need my soul. You know what I mean? That's where I get my dancing, right? My rhythm. That's where I get that from. That's why I can play the drums. That's why I can moonwalk, roller skate, right? I need my soul. How else am I gonna cook macaroni and cheese or oxtails and gravy? How else am I gonna cook that if I didn't have my soul? So I need my soul. The fix. Now, skilled labor, HVAC in my case, it is hard work. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna work, but it's honest work. You're fixing real problems for real people. You get to see immediate results on their faces as you give them the invoice. So if you help them, they're gonna be ecstatic. You can see it, and there's real pride in that. So number 5, this next one, is a little more elusive. Now, we all like to be able to wear our pajamas, pushing papers around, not having to commute, no one looking over your shoulder, but you can't shake that feeling of losing touch from the world, or losing touch from society in general, just the connection with people, you know what I mean? There's a 5-tier model of human needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And on the 3rd tier is love and belonging. I know you don't love your coworkers. If you do, you might have to talk to HR. I won't tell. But the feeling of camaraderie and belonging to something greater than yourself is kind of innate in all of us. And not seeing those, however annoying they are, people, not being able to see tangible results can kind of lead to this feeling. You want to do something useful, right? And maybe sprinkle some recognition in there on top. The fix. There may be no real fix for feeling disconnected other than touching grass. But imagine, right? Imagine this. Midsummer, you're visiting your parents, and you go in and you get this flash of hot, thick, moist, sticky air in the house. And you look at the T-stat, 82 degrees. Or you're a nurse trying to get a hold of some life-saving plasma, but there just happened to be a shortage in your town because the freezer was running warm and they had to render those hundreds of liters of plasma unusable. HVAC and refrigeration, among other trades, they're the first line of defense for a plethora of industries, and that kind of work never goes away. The bottom line is, you don't have to go to college to be successful. You don't have to be stuck at a job that doesn't lead anywhere. The skilled trades, especially HVAC, they're not a backup plan anymore. They are the plan. They're the smart plan. And if you're young and feeling stuck, this is one of the few careers where your effort actually means something. And I'm not shitting on any other profession. I'm not. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Everybody has their role in society, mostly. I just think tradesmen are superior. Don't at me. I said what I said. Till next time.